Magandang hapon mga kaliga. Basketball na muna tayo sa ating pagpapatuloy ng Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. And yes, we are once again coming to you live from the Strike Gym in Bacoor City, Cavite. Neutral ground for all of our teams today. But we do present to you another MPBL triple header, beginning with Robbie Celis, who had a double-double of 16 points and 10 rebounds in their previous game versus the QUEZON Huskers today. The rest of the Makati OKBet Kings take on the new look Quezon City Toda Action Refresh squad with new management here in the 5th season of the MPBL. Later on, Sarangani will take on Marikina in the second game, and in the main one, Caloocan Batang Kankalu will be going up against the Parañaque Patriots. Thank you so much for joining us, folks. This is Mix Gomez at your service alongside Javi Palanya. And Javi, of course, we have to address the elephant in the room. What are your first impressions with this new look Quezon City team?
Well, honestly, Mix, objectively speaking, itong Quezon City team, no, a lot of old faces, a lot of veteran players coming in here, and I think it's gonna be a slower team compared to the last Quezon City team that we're used to seeing with sila Andre Duremdes. But let's see, no, there's also new coaching here para sa Quezon City, so we may be wrong dito about Quezon City.
And to help us with some insight about the new look Quezon City team, we have our courtside reporter, Sydney Crespo. Sydney, what's going on with QC?
Well, Mix and Javi, akong bahala sa inyo. Fresh and new ang Quezon City ngayong araw dahil sa 4 na bagong coaches. Kasama sila Head Coach Eric Salamat, Assistant Coaches John Schweitzer at Martin Gotti, Manager Charles Kimpo, at siyam na panibago nga abangan dito sa MPBL dahil nagbabalik nga si Coach Eric dito sa liga. Malaki yung ngiti niya kanina nung nakausap ko siya, no, at inaabangan daw niyang makaharap itong kanyang mga former teammates, kasama na si Makati Head Coach Don Dulay na nakasama niya sa Pro League noong 2011. Malaking tulong rin na nandito si Coach John Schweitzer, who is part of the Ateneo Men's Basketball team with Coach Tab Baldwin. So aabangan din natin yan. Although 4 na araw pa lang silang magkakasama, aminado sila na they are not expecting an easy game, but this will definitely be a learning experience. Back to you guys.
Well, that's certainly very interesting. If you associate any person with Coach Tab Baldwin, well, we can only expect greater things for that person. And then on the other end, sabi rin ni Sydney Javi, itong si Coach Eric Salamat. Meron ka bang initial impressions about that?
Well, you know, Coach Eric Salamat, as a player, he was such a great defender, such a great slasher. So makikita natin kung magta-translate yung mga na ginagawa niya sa court dito sa kanyang bagong team that he's at the helm now, itong Quezon City Toda Action.
Ayan na nga, si Coach John katabi, si Coach Eric Salamat at the sidelines. Folks, we would like to thank you for joining us on MPTV Channel 98 on Signal TV, also on our live streams on Facebook and on YouTube. Now, Javi Palanya will be breaking down our team standings. Javi, what's going on as we are in the middle of our 5th season?
Pampanga continues to stay undefeated in 14 games, pero mapapansin mo dyan ang Makati and Marikina plus ang Parañaque, 3 of the teams that are playing right now, plus Quezon City. Makati right now, with a win today, they can climb to solo 5 spot behind Pasay Voyagers, who lost yesterday against the Bacoor City Strikers, while the Marikina Shoemasters, with a win later on, can cement their spot at number 8. Ang Parañaque naman, pareho rin yan kasi tied sila at 7 and 8, while Quezon City, kailangan nila maghabol ngayon if they want to make a run for the last bus to the playoffs. They're at 3 and 13 right now currently. Ngayon naman sa Southern Division, Bacoor continues to reign on top at 13 and 2. Bicol still without a win in 16 games. Sarangani later on will be playing in our second game against the Marikina Shoemasters. They're tied at 7 and 8. So win there could cement their spot at the number 7 spot in the Southern Division.
Nasabi nga natin dahil nasa gitna na tayo ng ating 5th season, playoff picture o yung playoff picture natin, pinag-uusapan na yan dito sa ating liga. And now we go to the previous game of Quezon City. This was the last game of them with their old management, and obviously it wasn't the best ending for them. Sina Patrick Bakay and company, them losing big time to Marikina.
Yeah, Quezon City has already lost 5 straight games after winning by 10 points against the Manila Stars. That was their last loss of the season. All of the 5 games makes haven't been competitive para sa Quezon City. They lost those games by an average margin of 35.2 points. Itong last game against the Marikina Shoemasters, Marikina was up by as much as 44 points in this game. At makita mo dyan, it ended up in an 89-50 decision. Marikina shot 48% from the field, while Quezon City only 36.2%. In rebounding, sobrang layo. So that is one thing na kailangan trabahuin ng Quezon City with a new team that they have. So hopefully the new guys on board on their new roster can be able to get them help on the boards.
On the other end, the Makati Kings are also coming off of a loss, and that was a road loss against the Quezon Huskers. They struggled in the first half of that matchup. It was a mighty comeback for them in the third and fourth quarters, pero kinulang na ng oras sina Eman Calo and company.
Tama ka dyan, Mix. Quezon really started off very strong here on their home floor at the Quezon Convention Center. They established a 13-point lead right away, 27-14 after the end of the first quarter. And at the half, they were ahead by 12 points, 41-29. But the third quarter was strong para sa Makati. As you mentioned, they scored 27 in that period. Kaya lang kinapos na talaga sila ng dulo. I think it was their lack really of 3-point shooting. They only shot 8 out of 29 from the great beyond in that game against the Quezon Huskers, where a lot of the Huskers really contributed to the success of that team on their home floor. Kaya ang Makati, for me right now, ang kailangan nila ngayon, more perimeter threats, especially from three-point country.
Well, that is definitely a part of the identity of the Makati Kings here in the 5th season of the MPBL, something that was somewhat missing from them in their previous outing. So, it is Makati versus QC as we go to our arena announcer, that is Ken Pangilinan.
Magandang hapon mga kaliga. Welcome to the Strike Gymnasium in Bacoor City for the 2023 OK Bet Manny Pacquiao's MPBL Season 5 presented by Extreme. The first game of our first day triple header is Quezon City versus Makati. Live on the MPBL Facebook page, YouTube channel, and MBTV Signal Channel 98. Time to meet the starters first. For the Quezon City Toda Action V-Fresh. Starting at small forward number 13, Errol Soriano. Power forward number 22, Jem Gonzalez. At center number 0, Andre Flores. Shooting guard number 5, Martin Enriquez. And at point guard number 10, Kojak Melegrito. The head coach of Quezon City is Ford Arrow, but will be led in today's ball game by Eric Salamat. Assistant coaches John Robert Schweitzer, Martin Go, and JC Tan. Team manager Charles Kimpo. Team consultant is Bennett Palad. Team governor and owner is Mr. Joven Tai. And now the starting five for the Makati OK Bet Kings. Small forward number 28, Dave Varana. Power forward number 8, Robbie Celis. Center number 25, Tonton Bringas. Point guard number 18, Joseph Terzo. And at shooting guard number 19, Eman Calo. Their head coach is Ton Dulay. Assistant coaches Matt Bacaliental, Rob Wainwright, MC Abolucion, Rick Season, and Bo Salafranca. Team manager is Paul Nagy. Team consultant, Paulo Orbeta. Referees for this ball game, Alan Manzano.
We present to you the starters for QC and Makati. It's Kojak Melegrito on his MPBL return with Martin Enriquez, Andre Flores, Errol Soriano, and Jem Gonzalez. That's JM Gonzalez on the other end. Para naman sa Makati, it's Eman Calo, Joseph Terzo, Tonton Bringas, Robbie Celis, and Dave Arana. Thank you for joining us, folks. This is Mix Gomez alongside Javi Palanya and Sidney Crespo. Again, the story of this ball game, the headline at least, is Quezon City having a new management. Obviously, some players being retained and a lot of new players, 9 at that, as mentioned by Sidney Crespo. But moreover, as mentioned to us by Andre Flores, they do have a very detail-oriented head coach. And so we will be watching out for those details here in this matchup.
Yeah, you know, when you have a guy that works alongside Coach Tab Baldwin, that is exactly what you could expect coming from this QC squad. Pero that's gonna take some time, and we mentioned during pregame, we talked about how they were only together for just 4 days pa lang. So marami pang kailangan ayusin itong Quezon City in terms of chemistry, in terms of execution. But we will see if meron na talagang unang bahid ng preparation ang nagawa nitong Quezon City in those 4 days.
On those 4 days, it was all practices for them. So this is their first actual game together. And how about Kojak Melegrito opening this game up with a 3-pointer?
That was coming off the flow of the offense para sa Quezon City, at makikita mo talaga in the first 2 possessions that they were really trying to run that ball around side to side to try and get the best opportunity.
That's definitely a good sign for the white shirts. They could not get the rebound here.
Because if you're gonna look at this Quezon City team at face value, compare mo dun sa unang Quezon City team na nakita natin, the last Quezon City team was a more youthful squad, more athletic, a squad that liked to go on the break and run as Robbie Celis scores inside. Pero ito naman, mas mga veterano mga player, mas mababagal, pero makikita mo they like to play in the half court, and we'll see if this can be a positive influence para dito sa new look Quezon City.
You see the execution once again for QC. They continue to swing that ball around. Josh Flores, three-pointer off to the left. One more chance for QC. JM Gonzalez working with Kojak Melegrito. Bounce pass turned over. Eman Calo against two defenders. No foul call. The other end we go. Gonzalez, Melegrito trying to barge his way through to no avail. Ball outside in favor of Makati.
Oh, what about Kojak Melegrito? He seems to be very active here to start this game para sa Quezon City.
Melegrito, we were joking together before this game na na-inspired din siya ni Paulo Hubalde, who was best player yesterday in this venue for Mindoro, recording a triple-double, his first triple-double in his MPBL career. Dave Arana, three-pointer.
Dave Arana stepping in the place of Billy Ray Robles in the starting lineup today para sa Makati, trying to take advantage of the opportunity given to him by Coach Don Dulay.
Billy Robles, he is currently going through a shoulder injury. He re-aggravated it in their previous outing. But Kojak Melegrito, this guy, he's looking like he's at 100% conditioning.
So triple-double rin ba ang inahabol ni Kojak Melegrito dito, or Player of the Game award rin ba para sa Quezon City? Makikita natin yan. And we have to note that Paulo Hubalde is more senior than Kojak Melegrito. So talagang still a lot of gas left in the tank of Kojak Melegrito if Paulo Hubalde was able to perform that way yesterday, as we see this three-pointer from Dave Arana free from the left wing.
To your point, Paulo Hubalde is 43 years old.
42 pa lang daw.
42?
Oo, 42
Really?
pa lang daw. He corrected me last night. Sabi niya sa akin, bro, 42 pa lang.
Talaga?
42 pa lang daw.
That's what I remember him telling me, that he's 43, and one of his teammates also said he was 43. But then again, shout out to you, Pao, wherever you may be today. Kojak Melegrito on the other end is 38 years old. Pero biking buddies yang dalawang yan.
Oo, tama.
Kasama ang ating floor director na si Dick Boy na nakasalubong nila sa Antipolo nung nagbabike sila as Robbie Celis goes in for that layup.
Now, early on, we're seeing Quezon City on offense. Mukhang maganda talaga tinatakbo ng offense nila. I mean, it's not as fluid as you want it to be. Obviously, there's still something to work on. But you see the ball moving. Ang problema nila early on has been the defense. They've not been able to cover the open looks of Makati so far. He had Dave Arana score a three earlier and Robbie Celis score a basket inside.
8-7 now. Quezon City looking good early in this game. Tonton Bringas on the spin, and he missed the layup. Forward pass. Here comes Enriquez looking for a teammate. Flores was there, and he backs that ball in.
Andre Flores being one of the holdovers from the previous squad here of Quezon City. I truly believe that this is his time to break out in this season para sa Quezon City. Already had the experience of beginning this season with the squad, so I think new management really had enough reason to retain him.
Wala na nga lang yung best friend niya, na
Oo.
si Andre Duremdes, who we congratulate for getting a spot in Terra Firma's 3x3 basketball team. Here's Andre Flores inside. He scores again.
A poor gamble right there by Tonton Bringas that led to the open lane to the cup by Andre Flores. Back-to-back baskets for the big man out of Ateneo.
Boy, what a start for Quezon City. 12-9. Eman Calo could not tie things up. Battle inside. Ball recovered by Andre Flores.
And I think Makati has to avoid starts like this, yung mga flat starts nila during this season, because as we go deeper, teams already getting better, more well-conditioned. they have to avoid being in situations like this because that's what happened last game against the Quezon Huskers. They were down 13 after the end of 10 at nahirapan na sila makabalik. You know, there obviously is still a way for them to come back every time this is a core of championship players. Ito sila Eman Calo, Robbie Celis, etc., Billy Ray Robles, and even their coach Don Dulay was their coach during their championship run with the Tigers a few seasons ago. But they have to avoid flat starts because teams are already sharper right now, better in plotting out strategies. At mas nakakapagod naman talaga maghabol, Migs, no? And you know, these guys, di na tong mga bata.
Oh. But now I ask you this, as we have a bit of a lull on the court. You think this is a matter of Makati being surprised with the level of play of QC?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously coming into this game, I don't think they were able to do any sort of scouting kasi di naman nila alam kung sino yung mga players, di nila alam kung anong sistema yung itatakbo, what offensive schemes will be run by this Quezon City team. So there definitely is a lot of adjustment in game para dito sa kupunan ni Coach Don Dulay.
Well, one of these Makati players did tell us before this game that
9 seconds on the shot
yes,
clock,
that's true.
9
What you just
seconds
said,
to
they
shoot.
didn't know what to scout, and so they just had to focus on themselves, especially after that loss versus Quezon. It's a bit of an identity crisis for them at this part of the season. But right now, the identity of QC is slowly but surely building up here in Bacoor.
Well, you know, I'm sure everybody questioned the makeup of the roster of Quezon City coming into this game. But here, they're out to prove everybody wrong with this great start that they're having. They're leading by 5 right now, 14-9.
Welcome back to the MPBL. Makati head coach Don Dulay admits that it was a bad loss to Quezon Huskers. As you mentioned, Migs, he noticed that they fell short immediately in confidence that affected the tone of the game. And when they were ready to come back, it was already too late. Now, Makati had to go back to basics, especially in their defense, as Coach Don Dulay reminds his guys that their goal is to be the best defensive team here in the league. Now, in terms of confidence, they still want to solidify that. Billy is becoming more of a leader. Robbie has become the new leader of the team. And the young guns are working hard to be that as well. These are all according to Coach Don, but I'm curious to hear your thoughts, Mix and Javi.
Well, my answer to that are Eman Calo's words, no, that in terms of leadership, dahil nga wala ng marquee, that's the biggest challenge for them. Kasi hindi mo nga naman mapapalitan si Marquee, no? So they have to do it by committee, the likes of Robbie Celis and company, bringing in the championship culture of Davao onto this Makati team. We mentioned earlier the identity crisis, no? It's not a major deal for Makati, but because they're trying to set themselves onto a very high standard, it's what they're building, and you have to give them time here in the 5th season of the MPBL.
Yeah, and I think it's also these players, they have to give themselves the time. They have to be able to allow themselves to grow with this particular squad that they're playing with. Hindi nila pwede ma-expect yung results right away, but I think right now is ample time for them to be able to expect more now from the current squad that they have.
Na-mention din ni Sydney yung defense na gustong makuha ni Coach Don Dulay. Obviously, before, with Marquee leading the helm, they were one of the best defensive teams in the MPBL. They do have a lot of great tools in this lineup, but let's see how they can continue to develop.
Yeah, that's right. Tools are definitely in place, but it's a matter of how you incorporate it into the way you run things here with your team.
Oh, speaking of incorporating things for your team, Coach John Schweitzer has definitely made his impact for Quezon City. Now they're up by 5. And now, he had 2 more to their tally as Zeus Pedrosa scores.
At makikita mo talaga, Migs, that the discipline for them to run the system, to really move that basketball and to not put their own agenda above the team's.
Robbie Celis, a miss inside. Great effort by Enriquez, but a better effort from Matthew Daves. Dave Harana, Lucas Cullar onto Robbie Celis. 3 on the shot clock. Ball tapped away in favor of Makati.
He was trying to go for a veteran move right there, drawing the foul on Norbin Santos, but no whistle was blown in the favor of Robbie Celis. It's going to be a baseline inbound with 2 seconds left on the shot clock.
Let's see what Makati can do. They lob it up. Miss for Celis. And here comes Kojak Melegrito. Bounce pass to Pedrosa, one of the mainstays of QC. Melegrito inside. Castellano in trouble. Turnover. 3 on 3. Robbie Celis all the way for 2.
That's too easy if you're going to give up a basket like that against Robbie Celis. Might as well just foul him.
The other end, Santos. Up top, that's Benavides onto Melegrito. Trying to post up. Great aggressive move by Kojak.
Just using all those years of experience at the post, Kojak Melegrito asking for it. But look at this finish by Robbie Celis. No resistance by Quezon City. Norbin Santos just going for that swipe, but unable to prevent the basket by the veteran big.
Now I ask you this. Ano sa tingin mo sa conditioning ni Kojak Melegrito at this point?
Well, siguro, you know, in terms of being able to run up and down the court, medyo mahihirapan pa siya. Ang question dito para kay Kojak yung game shape eh. But definitely, he seems to be in good physical shape. But game shape is so much different kasi kailangan mo masanay tumakbo up and down, makipagbanggaan sa mga players on the court. You know, biking every day will definitely get you in good physical shape, but it won't guarantee great physical game shape right away.
Oh, Melegrito just could not get that layup to go. But again, QC's looking good here. 17-11. Forward pass. Ramirez almost turned the ball over. You go back. He's met by Benavides. Down low, Keith Agovida. Cross court, Dave Arana. 3-pointer. Yes, sir.
Dave Arana has been the beneficiary of good kick-out passes from his teammates so far here in the first quarter. That's his second 3-pointer and second open look as well here in the first.
Under 2 minutes, QC by 3. Santos onto JM Gonzalez. Melegrito trying to seal inside. He picks up the foul.
Okay, Quezon City really trying to employ an inside-outside attack here. They're dumping it down low to the post and then kicking it out and back down low.
You have a timeout. The score is 17-14. So today we are in the strike gym. Yesterday we were also in the strike gym. The Strikers were able to defend their home court against the Pasay Voyagers. James Kwekute came alive in the fourth quarter to lead the way. Before that, Pasig City, they were very stable in defeating Alan Mangahas and the rest of Manila. And we talked about Paulo Hubalde reaching his first triple-double in his MPBL career in that victory versus Laguna. But Javi, today we are very impressed with this guy, Coach John Schweitzer, working with Coach Eric Salamat. He's led this new-look Quezon City team very well early in this quarter. They're up 17-14.
You could really see them try to move that basketball side to side and get the best look possible itong Quezon City. And ngayon nga lang sila nagkaroon ng two-man game eh.
How about that? Kojak Melegrito, no teammate needed on that play.
Hopping his way into the lane, finishing with the right hand. Kojak Melegrito getting the screen from Kenji Roman.
9 points for Kojak on his MPBL return. The last time that we saw him in an MPBL regular season was back in season 2 when he was playing with Navotas. Matagal-tagal na yon. 2 2-pointer here for RJ Ramirez to trim the lead. JM Gonzalez up top. Kenji Roman, one of the mainstays of QC. You see the movement. What a fake. And a layup for Zeus Pedrosa.
And for the Makati defense, obviously they're guessing right here. So they're jumping on every fake, on every move right here of the Quezon City squad.
The other end, Matthew Daves is fouled.
But if you ask me, defense of Quezon City hasn't been as good. Obviously, ang daming open looks ng Makati shooters. RJ Ramirez was able to hit an outside shot earlier, but that was the up and under by Zeus Pedrosa, getting 2 blue shirts up in the air. And there you see that shot drained from the left corner by RJ Ramirez.
By the way, let's correct ourselves, or let me correct myself. That was a 3-pointer by RJ Ramirez as Keith Agubida scores for Makati. Pedrosa against Jan Hamon. Zeus on the drive and spin. Good cut, but no connection for QC.
At least you see the movement is there. Not one guy just staying in one place for a long period of time.
11 seconds. Lucas Cullar on the horns play. Malabas, Keith Agovida. His shot is good. 2 seconds. Won't be enough time for QC to deliver a shot. And so Makati will take the lead to end the first quarter.
Yeah, what about Keith Agovida? In the last game against the Quezon Huskers, Agovida only scored 4 points in almost 11 minutes. But to start this game, Coach Akmeligrito, what a return here to the MPBL for the veteran. But slowly but surely, nabaon ng Makati itong good start ng Quezon City. And we already mentioned throughout that first quarter how the defense of Quezon City hindi pa talaga buo, and that allowed a lot of easy shots, just like that one by Dave Arana. And that's why they're on top by 1 after the end of 10.
We're back inside the Strike Gym in Bacoor, Cavite. This is Mix Gomez alongside Avi Palanya and Sidney Crespo. The first matchup of your MPBL Thursday features Quezon City with its new look going up against Makati. A good start for QC, but a better finish in the first quarter for Makati. And here comes Lucas Cullar working with Keith Agovida. 4 on the shot clock. Shots a miss. Rebound Pedrosa.
First quarter field goal story right there on your screens. Both teams shooting 50% from the field. A lot of open looks para sa Makati, and for Quezon City, they really ran that offense in that first quarter to be able to get good looks.
Jesus Pedrosa, among others, they look to be rejuvenated as well with this new lineup, new coaching. He's been playing well so far in this game.
And I love how every dead ball, every lull in the action, nag-huddle sila. Silang 5 on the floor itong Quezon City. Didn't really see a lot of that during the first stint of Quezon City here this season. So obviously they really want to change not just the makeup of the team but also the culture. Yun man talaga ang pinaka-importante dyan.
Jesus Pedrosa making the first free throw. Here you see Coach John Schweitzer influencing a lot in this new Quezon City team. Pedrosa, no good on the second free throw. Good effort by Errol Soriano, but he was called for a foul.
Tried to box out ito si Keith Agovida, but Agovida getting better positioning on that rebound play.
And we're seeing a sub here. It's Kim Lo. Saw that guy in the UAAP, right, Javi?
That's correct, playing for the UST Growling Tigers. Kasabayan niya nila Louis Vigil. Was one of their 3-and-D guys back then. He obviously gained some weight right now, still trying to get back into playing shape.
That was back in what, 2015?
Oh,
Tagal-tagal na, almost a decade. Lucas Cullar onto Matthew Daves, 9 on the shot clock. They go to Agovida. Not much spacing right there. Matthew Daves in trouble. Tough layup, almost made it. Ball tapped away in favor of QC.
Makati really has to be able to assert their dominance and their advantage inside. They are the taller, much more athletic team here compared to QC. Guys like Matthew Daves, Alan Santos, Tonton Bringas, all of these guys can dominate inside the shaded area.
They have a timeout early in the second quarter. See the next 3 games of Quezon City. They will face the Quezon Huskers, and then it's Bacolod and Rizal, all in neutral territory. We can only expect greater things for QC as they are off to a good start. Again, this is their first game playing as a team. It's been all practices. Walang mga tune-up games yun. Puro scrimmage lang. And so if you want to talk about chemistry, that will surely develop for QC in the upcoming games. Full court inbound now for the white shirts. Jake Bagon, now the team captain of QC. As one of the mainstays from their previous lineup. Ryan Lina, pass inside. Kenji Roman is fouled by John Hamon.
Excellent read right there by BJ Lina. Side pick and roll. They force Makati to switch, putting John Hamon on the much bigger Kenji Roman. He had no recourse to foul ito si Kenji Roman to prevent the easy 2 points.
Kenji, first free throw is good. Batiin natin si Coach Alan Trinidad of the Pampanga Giant Lanterns. Good afternoon, Coach Alan. I'm sure naghahanda na yan para sa July 1 game nila.
For sure.
Against the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards inside the Brenzi Giao Convention Center.
They've had a lot of additions, pero may bago pa palang nadagdag si Neil Tolentino.
Oh yes, from Iloilo. Actually, you can imagine him fitting very well with Pampanga.
Oh yeah.
Lucas Cullar, the former teammate of Neil Tolentino. Pass inside, a miss for Makati. Battle for the loose ball, and here's Martin Enriquez. Jake Bagon almost traveled. He puts it up, and that's a miss. Foul on the loose ball. That's on Enriquez.
A lot of indecision, a lot of uncertainty on that fast break attempt para sa Quezon City. Obviously still trying to feel out yung kanilang mga tendencies.
Do you think Makati is able to read better now defensively against QC?
At this point, yes, but there still seems to be a struggle para sa kanila in terms of defending the offense of Quezon City when it comes to the half court.
On the other end, you have mentioned it's been easy for Makati scoring baskets. A layup for Lucas Cullar as he taps that ball away now.
Every time Makati gets to score, nakakasagot pa rin kasi ang QC on the other side. As we look at the two-man game, Cullar challenging the defense of Kenji Roman and finishing, bodying up with the 2 points.
Josh Flores We go back to Jake Bagon up top. Martin Enriquez. Back to Kojak. He's almost in double figures. Melegrito. He gets fouled.
You already saw that baseline drive by Kojak Melegrito, but still the help came late right there coming from Keith Agovida. As soon as Hamon was left on that right corner, they already saw Melegrito coming, pero di agad dumating, and there's going to be a lane violation there. So 2 more free throws coming up para dito kay Kojak.
We were talking about the conditioning of this guy. You mentioned biking can take you a long way, but obviously, iba pa rin kapag 5-on-5 basketball. Pero speaking of the long ways that they have gone to in terms of biking, he shared to me, Javi, that this guy, ito si Kojak Melegrito, he travels with his younger brother James. At umaabot sila ng Tuguegarao, Baguio, Bigan, Pagudpud.
On a bike?
Yes. At some point, they reached 800 kilometers.
How long did that take them?
I didn't ask him, pero I tell you, siguro ano yun, 2 araw, 3?
Oo.
As a guy who biked myself, at marami yun, 800. Sobrang dami nun, natutulog sila sa gilid ng kalsada.
Talaga?
Yeah, umabot sa point
That's
na ganun.
intense. Nahiya na tuloy ako yung bike ko na just gathering dust in the
Na-
parking lot
nangangalawang na
downstairs.
So, 25-24, RJ Ramirez misses. Rebound Kojak. Melegrito on the run. The pass at the last second. Napaganda pa. It's 2+1 for Jake Bagon.
I think Makati is allowing Quezon City too much opportunities here, especially on the fast break. There seems to be a hint of laziness going down in transition D para sa Makati OK Bet Kings. These are stuff that Coach Don Dulay never likes to allow. And that's why kita mo naman, platoon substitution right here for the Makati Kings.
Oh, these are the starters for Coach Don Dulay. Joseph Terso, Eman Calo, Robbie Celis, Tonton Bringas, and Dave Arana. Jake Bagon at the line. 27-24. QC looking good. He misses on the bonus.
A lot of free throws being missed by Quezon City so far here in the first half.
5 out of 9. Ang kanilang shooting from the stripe. It's never good when your shooting percentage is near 50%.
From the free throw line.
Yes. Pass inside. Kojak Melegrito creating for Andre Flores.
Do you see that? Makes too easy an opportunity to drive inside. Once again, it's Kojak Melegrito. This is a guy who not really is the fastest guy on the court, but is able to blow by the defenses of Makati so far here, especially in the second quarter. In the first, he was making plays for himself. Now he's making plays for his teammates.
The score now is 29-24. For a premium experience and an exceptional stay, we give you Boracay de la Ia, the official hotel and resort of the MPBL. Well, today we are coming to you live from the Strike Gym in Bacoor, Cavite. This is Makati versus Quezon City with QC up by 5. It's 29-24. A new-look QC squad that has definitely impressed a lot of people. But on the other end, there's the answer from Robbie Celis. Well, he's been very efficient in this season. Number 3 in the league at field goal shooting at 53% from the field.
Yeah, but I do think it has to come from these guys, that Makati should be able to get them out of their flat starts during the first half. They have to be able to lead by example and try to pull them out of this hole.
Celis now in double figures, just like that. The previous outing, he scored 16 with 10 boards. Celis on the drive, reverse, good move.
Well, now what Makati has been allowing QC to do on the offensive end. QC has been allowing Makati to do. That was an easy move to the basket by Robbie Celis. Sure, it was quite a tough finish going on the other side for the 2 points, but still not much resistance if you're Quezon City.
14 points now for Robbie Celis. He's also number 1 in the league in free throw attempts per game at 5.6. But he doesn't necessarily have the best percentage, only making 3.2 per game. Kojak Melegrito loses the handle.
One of the few times, or actually the only time, I think he's lost the ball going to the basket here so far in this game.
Melegrito, he does have 10 points with 5 rebounds and 2 assists to lead the way for QC. Robbie Celis on the other end. Nifty move. Sorry miss. Got the rebound, but he lost it to Andre Flores. Kojak, 1-2. What a move.
He's just really sneaking his way through the defense. Hinuhuli niya lang yung kontra-tempo eh.
12 points now for Kojak Melegrito on his MPBL return. Let me apologize to him. The last time that we saw him was in Season 3, not in Season 2. He was playing with Nabotas. 3-pointer. There's a foul at that. It's called on Zeus Pedrosa.
Foul number 25, Zeus Pedrosa is first.
You could see Emancalo sometimes go for a set shot from the outside, but there are also times where he decides to go for that jump shot where he really hangs in the air before launching and releasing. That's why he was able to clip Pedrosa right there on the arm.
Emancalo makes his first free throw. This guy came alive in the second half versus the Quezon Huskers. Almost gave us a miracle in the fourth quarter where he made a 3-pointer, got a steal, a basket and 1 play. But we did mention time wasn't enough for them to pull off a comeback.
I think somebody else has to step up in terms of scoring from the outside. Can't be just Emancalo.
Well, RJ Ramirez did tell us he is working on his shooting to be able to help out with Emancalo.
Well, yung pagbabalik ni John Hamon dito would greatly help Makati. I think he was really one of the pieces that they lacked.
Well, they do describe themselves as 3-and-D players for Coach Don Dulay. There's the escape for Emancalo. 5 points now for Calo. 35-31. Under 5 minutes in the second quarter. Miguel Castellano at the post. Another turnover. Oh, Makati's looking good. Robbie Celis on the breakaway.
That's the 9th turnover of the game para sa Quezon City. And the 12th score off a turnover for Makati.
16 points now for Robbie Celis in this matchup. Pass to Noah, and that's a turnover again for QC.
So now nakikita nyo na yung mga difficulties of Quezon City running that offense. Makati trying their best to put a lot of pressure on this Quezon City movement. And right now, nagdadalawang isip na sila sa mga ginagawa nila on the floor. And because of that, they've been turning the ball over a lot here in the second quarter.
Zone here for QC. Emancalo, couple of dribbles, kick out. Dave Arana, bit too strong. Rebound Celis, good effort by Rob. Up top, swing to the right. Celis, couple more passes. Joseph Terso, that's long. Martin Enriquez on to JM Gonzalez. They go to Benavides against Emancalo. Castellano on the high-low. That's a push.
Yeah. Very obvious right there.
Offensive foul number 22, J.M. Gonzalez. It's first.
First foul on JM Gonzalez. That guy played earlier in the season for Iloilo. Before he played for Caloocan as well. Tonton Bringas on to Joseph Terso. Eman Calo, pinapalabas, Dave Arana. Inside they go. Tonton, no good.
That's a makeable basket para kay Bringas.
The other end, Martin Enriquez stopping and popping. Yes.
I think this guy hasn't been given a lot of leeway to be able to do what he can on the court. Hopefully, this time with new management and the new coaching staff of QC can be able to bring out most of the talent at ni Martin Enriquez.
Goes with the first 2 points of Martin Enriquez. First 2 points as well for Tonton Bringas.
With the way that he's built, and you can see the people he's up against, it's very easy for him to be able to dominate here against Quezon City. To si Tonton Bringas, he gets a rebound here.
Kabila tayo, Robbie Celes. On to Joseph Terzo. Dave Arana. They go to Eman Calo. Good cut by Robbie. Better fake. And he picks up the foul.
That's too easy para kay Robbie Celis. Just one fake, gets his defender up in the air, draws contact. The question is, can he drain both of these free throws coming up for him?
Celes now up to 16 points in this matchup, already matching his previous game output. There was a funny moment earlier in this game. John Hamon described Robbie Celes as he's like Bam Adebayo from the Miami Heat. Kung saan nagulat si Robbie Celes because he said Bam Adebayo is more of a defensive player. And of course, Celes is a scorer. But John Hamon was just, trying to pertain to his versatility as a big man, no? For Makati. Celes would better describe himself a bit nearer to the likes of Ranindel de Ocampo. Tsaka wag naman NBA. PBA muna.
So, inaamin ba ni Robin na di siya dumidepensa?
Well, it's up to you to conclude for yourselves.
Siya na nagsabi.
But of course, when you're playing for Coach Don Dulay, and Cindy Crespo mentioned it on her report, defense is a premium for Makati. 41-33, 2 minutes and 10. Dave Arana, bounce pass, Celis, kick out. Eman Calo's three-pointer, yes.
You leave him that much space, Eman Calo will surely capitalize most of the time. You saw that against the Quezon Huskers, almost making a comeback para sa kanilang kupunan in that third quarter.
44-33, Martin Enriquez. Santos up top, that's long. Rebound, JM Gonzalez, 2+1.
Well, nakita na natin dito na lumalayo na Makati, no? They're up by 9 points at this juncture of the match. 3-point shot in the miss by Santos and the rebound by Gonzalez. So Quezon City, the work they have to do now is on the defensive end because they're allowing a lot of easy baskets para dito sa kupunan ng Kings, especially when it comes to Robbie Celis. Lane appears so much bigger para sa kanya. Assist total right there on your screens, +2 para sa Makati, 13-11.
And it's a +8 right now for Makati in terms of scoring. QC with the basketball. Under 80 seconds before halftime. Norby Santos. JM Gonzalez now. Three-pointer. Bit too strong. Rebound. Good effort right there by Kenneth Sumalakay. Recovery, but a miss for QC. The other end, Robbie Celes. The pass to Eman Calo. He's blocked. Numbers here for Makati. Dave Arana's three-pointer. Short. Balik tayo kay Joseph Terzo. Arana. Terzo. Inside they go. Good feed. Eman Calo gives it up to Robbie Celes for the easy 2. 20 points now for Robbie Celes.
You saw how much white shirts Eman Calo got up in the air with that single ball fake.
You would have thought he could have shot that ball already. But he gave up that assist to Robbie Celes. 7 on the shot clock. Kenneth Sumalakay, the former shoe master. What a shot!
At ngayon na kino-cover na ng Makati lahat ng options, nahihirapan na ang Quezon City to counter with counters.
3 seconds to go here. breakaway for Martin Enriquez, but he lost time. And so, with your last comment, I ask you this. Mukhang nabasa na nga ba talaga ng Makati ang QC?
Yeah, because this is also a type of offense that Makati likes to run. There are certain schemes that Coach Don Dula uses na ginagamit rin ng Quezon City. So they are not surprised. It was just a matter of time before they were able to adjust.
Halftime score is 46-38, and now we present to you our top 10 plays of the week. Shot, no good. Wala pa rin on the follow. Rebound, Lander Cannon. Numbers surpassing. 2-on-1. Medina, Roca Curva on the reverse. Wow!
Just enough hang time right there for Kenny Roca Curva. But give credit to the pass as well by Tristan Medina. Excellent bound pass right on the money. The adjustment, he still was able to show that basketball and transfer it on over to the other side, to his strong side on the left, and finish with a reverse as he was going down.
That could be was not good for Quezon. Blow by from the wing to the corner and then corner to the cup. Alley-oop.
Topeng Lagrama to the Rafi Verano underneath. Great eye in the sky play para sa Quezon Huskers. Topeng Lagrama used to play on this venue as his home floor as he was with the Pampanga Giant Lanterns last year.
No good. Nermal with the rebound. John Nermal will fly! I thought he was going to throw it down, but the way he looked at the rim, Javi, but wow, what a move there.
That was very Jordan-esque right there, taking off from just below the free throw line. Come with me and fly, John Nermal.
Picture perfect right here. John Nermal, the figure roll.
Alam mo yun, yung confidence niya pa rin dun sa kanyang paglalaro.
Is it right for me to have observed that this guy, Luis Angalang, who gives that ball up to Balti Baltazar for the first jam of the ball game? As you can see, there's the pace that Pampanga wants. And good for Luis Angalang to recognize that Balti Baltazar was training. Kurt Rayson spinning his way out of the defense. Wow, crossover! And that was such a beautiful move, including the finish for Kurt Rayson.
Oo, talagang if you're talking about attacking the defense, itong si Kurt Rayson.
Look at that. Crossover, faking the pass, 1-2, and some magic in the air for Kurt Rayson. He did not need any more teammates to finish for those 2 points. And because of that, Manila calls for time. The lead has ballooned. Talking about Kurt Rayson.
Oo, si Kurt Rayson. Wala si Pinuya, wala rin si MJ Garcia.
Pero nandyan pa rin si Balti Baltazar with his second slam dunk in this ball game. So this was the bounce pass of Kurt Rayson finding Balti Baltazar for the easy slam. One more look at it. That's too easy for Balti. You know, we've seen a lot of these plays come into the top 10 plays of the week of the MPBL.
Game of the bench, 5 puntos na yan. I was about to say, ito si Baltasar. Gets it underneath.
And the slam! One fake, and with authority, one hand para dito kay Baltazar, and that gets the crowd all riled up here inside the Brent Z. Gao Convention Center.
By Pampanga, this was the pass ahead, the shot fake, and the slamma jamma by Balti.
Both teams are in penalty. Timaho will inbound. He's working with Atabay, Jason Strait, Marvin Janicio, and Ryan Arenal.
Oo. You know, unfamiliar territory for the five nitong Marikina kasi usually sa ganitong sitwasyon.
2 seconds for the win! Oh my
Come on,
goodness!
Marvin Janicio.
Marvin Janicio with the best shooting performance of his whole life. He gives the buzzer-beating three-pointer for Zamboanga.
Off that execution, inside-out pass, relocating si Marvin Janicio from the outside.
Take a look at it. Jason Strait working with Mark Atabay.
Yeah, he rejects that ball screen. Timaho.
Tough pass. Arenal with a kick out. College teammates to Marikina teammates. And again, it has been that kind of an afternoon for Marwin Jonicio. That's his 5th three-pointer.
Mark Yee with the rebound.
Coach Jericho Diniero was still trying to call. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! What was that? Incredible!
Mark Yee with the exclamation point.
He just brought in the thunder. Oh my goodness. Mark Yee, are you kidding me?
Alcoriza had to challenge to no avail. Mark Yee. Oh wow. Put that in a poster. Mark Yee.
Incredible slam by Mark Yee. Y'all have to remember this guy's over 40.
Advantage so para kay Celis.
Marcellus able to receive. Robbie with a runner. Yes! Robbie Celis. Again, right on cue. Game winner para kay Robbie Celis. He got it off in time. And the Makati OK Bet Kings with a buzzer beater. Galing kay Robbie Celis. Take a look at this one. What an escape. What a shot. High off the glass and in. Robbie Celis capping his heroics with a game-winning shot.
Welcome back to the MPBL. You just saw our top 10 plays of the week. Mga kaliga, mapapanood nyo yan ulit sa ating Facebook page or sa ating YouTube channel. Now we are here at the half. My name is Sydney Crespo. For halftime interviews, we have Assistant Coach Martin Go ng Bagong Quezon City, and we also have Makati Team Manager Sir Paul Nagit. Coach, once again, welcome back. Welcome to the MPBL. This is your first game, and we mentioned at the top of the coverage na meron din kayong 4 na panibagong coaches kasama mo. Now, we want to know your first thoughts on your game right now at ano bang naging takeaways ng coaches natin after 2 quarters?
Well, since bagong team naman kami, so very normal my first game jitter. So maraming lapses, pero we're happy na at least nandito pa kami sa laro.
Now, Coach Martin, ito ang una mong beses na makakabati at magpapasalamat sa lahat ng sumusuporta sa inyo. Please go ahead.
Sa lahat ng nanonood for Quezon City, maraming salamat sa suporta. Binabati ko rin wife and kid ko. Hi, miss you guys.
Thank you so much, Coach Martin. Now we have Sir Paul. Sir Paul, Makati experienced a tough loss versus the Quezon Huskers last game, and now you're also faced with a new difficult task, diba? Now facing the new Quezon City. Paano ba ang mga adjustments nyo sa mga ganitong challenges in the league right now?
So we just focus on our defense and our offense. We trusted our coaches. We would like also to welcome the new Quezon City team. And yeah, it was a good start for them, and I think it will be a good game.
Alright, now Sir Paul, sino rin ang gusto mong mga pasalamatan?
First of all, I would like to thank the OK Bet management and sa lahat ng mga taga Makati, and to my family and to my girlfriend, hello.
Alright, thank you so much for your time, gentlemen. Mga kaliga, sa aming pagbabalik, more basketball action right here.
Kapag may labay nagkakaisa, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, basketball na. Ang bawat labay pinaghahandaan, kaya yumayanig ang bakbakan. Todo suporta ang lahat sa kanya-kanyang kupunan. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na! MPBL na! husay ng bawat isa. Sigawan ay yumayanig kapag nag-3 points na.
It is halftime here in Bacoor for your matchup between Quezon City and Makati. The score reads 46-38 in favor of the Kings. And this was after a strong start, courtesy of Kojak Melegrito and the rest of Quezon City Toda Action Be Fresh. No? Nakabalik ang Makati, as you mentioned, Javi, nabasa nila itong QC after a while. Robbie Celis led the way with 20 big points in the first half.
Yeah, unti-unti nakuha ng Makati yung kanilang rhythm, no? At the start of this game, Quezon City was off to a good start. They were able to outscore Makati 12-9 in the first half of that first quarter. But they got their bearings talking about the Kings, and they were able to adjust to the offense na tinatakbo ng Quezon City. Lahat ng mga options na di-deny na ng Makati, and Quezon City had difficulty responding with counters in that second period, which was the time that Robbie Celis heated up and scored most of his 20 points. But what about Kojak Melegrito really showing us that he could really still play with the best of them here in the MPBL. 12 points already in this game to lead Quezon City from the field in the first half. 51% para sa Quezon City. Makati is shooting 41%, but they're trying to improve on their outside shots, which was the problem against the Quezon Huskers. Makati only shot 8 out of 29 against Quezon in that first half, in that game against the Quezon Huskers. So now they're trying to increase that number against Quezon City. They also had 5 turnovers. Their team that commits the less number of turnovers so far this season, but Quezon City already committing 12.
And so we begin the third quarter here in the Strike Gym. Martin Enriquez working with Josh Flores. Ito ngayon si JM Gonzalez. The handoff to Enriquez. Pull up, mid-range shot. A lot of confidence, but he missed it.
I'm sure he's been given a lot of liberty here to take those shots. Ito si Martin Enriquez.
Joining the three that we mentioned are Josh Flores and Errol Soriano for QC. On the other end, Robbie Celis continues to score 22 points now.
Expect more sets to be aligned here para kay Robbie Celis. Nakita na ni Coach Don Dulay na wala talagang makakabantay dito kay Robbie Celis.
He's just a mismatch for everybody here in the MPBL.
He's a walking mismatch, that's right.
Bounce pass, ball tapped away. Makati looking good on defense. Emancalo, cross court, Culyar, bounce pass, Celis again. Triple teamed. The kick out, Ramirez to Emancalo from the corner. That's a 3.
When you triple team somebody, double team somebody, obviously a scramble defensively will continue. So you have to take advantage of the other team looking for the man they're trying to guard. And that time, Emancalo was left without a man in front of him, draining the 3-point shot.
The lead is now 13. Melegrito in trouble, trying to out-muscle everybody. Now he goes down. Culyar, forward pass. Robbie Celis running the break, bounce pass. Good feed to Emancalo.
They're just going through the motions right now, talking about Makati. I think we expected this entering this game, that at some point they're gonna have to be able to pick it up and turn this game into a blowout. Obviously, they're the much more stronger and much more experienced team.
Well, we talked about Makati as a team that has high standards for themselves, no? And so this is just supposed to be normal for them, as we bring you this exceptional pass of the game brought to you by Boracay de la Ia, the official hotel and resort of the MPBL. That's how big of a mismatch Robbie Celis is. He can also give out assists to his teammates. Going back to the point about Makati's excellence, this is a team that has beaten the likes of Pasig, Zamboanga, Jensen, and San Juan already in this season. And so we can only put them up to those high standards each and every game.
And also a number of games where they came close to beating some other strong teams as well. Pero pag-usapan na nga natin, Mix, no, nung first half, that hindi naman lahat dito magkakasama na dati. There are some new faces to this team. So you have to give them some time, but obviously we're now at the midway point of the season, and I think that's enough time already for this squad to try and gel with each other and hopefully make a great run for another championship.
And to add to that, These players did not start the season altogether. Na-late po yung core ni na Coach Don Dulay as Josh Flores gives that basketball up to Kojak Melegrito.
Yeah, that's right. We already knew they were coming in pero hindi sila nakapag-practice agad with the team. Obviously tried to recover from the previous leagues that they participated in.
Robbie Celis, part of that core of Coach Don Dulay. He converts again. 24 points now for Robbie Celis.
You know, it just really continues to puzzle me how one player can be so proficient scoring on jumpers from the perimeter or from the outside but not score that well in the free throw line.
Ito si Robbie Celis.
Oh.
Especially that he gets so many attempts every game. Good effort by Errol Soriano inside.
That's a much-needed basket right there para sa Quezon City. They're lucky to be down by just 13 points right now.
55-42, Robbie Celis. Sorry miss inside. Martin Enriquez hounded by Eman Calo. Almost a steal by Culyar. Kojak Melegrito is fouled by RJ Ramirez.
He sold that really well. There didn't really seem to be much contact between the two players, but Melegrito turning in an award-winning performance on that play.
That's Coach Eric Salamat. Now one of the coaches of Quezon City in this season. Enriquez misses. Rebound Celis.
Boy, during his time, Eric Salamat, he was one of the players na kung ikaw magdadala ng bola sa kabilang team, talaga matatakot ka kung siya yung nasa harapan mo. Because normally, hindi nakakatawid yung mga players pag si Eric Salamat yung ulo ng press eh.
And he's also very deadly offensively, right?
Correct. Great slasher, has a decent outside shot, and he's a lefty, and we all know how hard it is to be able to guard lefties like Eric Salamat.
It's just ironic that he's going up against a team that wears blue and white for today's matchup. Couple of subs here. Marco Sario papasok para sa Makati. It's Mix Castellano and also BJ Lina para naman sa QC. At papasok din si Sidney Crespo. Sid, go ahead.
Mix and Javi, you guys were talking about the defense of Quezon City in the first quarter. Although it is not perfect yet, Coach Eric Salamat said that they have no expectations but to have some pride on defense. He was talking about as a former player of the league, nakita niya na nag-iba na ang physicality ng liga and the level of competition just keeps improving. Kanina sa huddle, he went to his players and rallied to them saying, embrace the pressure, up the defense, and fight for a chance in this game. Back to you guys.
You were just talking about the defensive prowess of Eric Salamat. And it's good for him to be able to teach that onto now, supposedly the kids that he's coaching.
Yeah, I love those words that he communicated to his players. Obviously, he had so much pride. I love how Sid was able to mention that as a defensive player during his time. And that's what he wants to impart dito sa kanyang kupunan here in Quezon City. You know, one connection siguro that Eric Salamat has to this Makati team is, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, Sid, he was former teammates with Tonton Bringas in that San Sebastian squad in high school. That was quite a squad. Bringas brothers, Eric Salamat, and then you had Ryan Buenafe, part of that team as well. Jamil Ortuste.
That is a deep squad. And Rough Riders, you know.
Yeah, all of those, most of those players went to good college programs.
Kojak Melegrito lost the basketball on that sequence. And he got tangled up with the last guy that you want to get tangled up with on the court. It's Alan Santos.
Oh, he tried to pull Alan Santos back down, prevent him from getting that ball. It's just a loose ball foul.
It's on Alan Santos.
Oh, okay.
Santos could not believe it.
Oh, nakatakas pa si Kojak dun because he was actually the first one to initiate contact. Nakita mo dun, he tried to pull Alan to the ground.
Baseline inbound for QC. Castellano on to JM Gonzalez. Pinapalabas si VJ Lina on the drive now against Marco Sario. That's a good matchup. The shot was short. The other end we go. Robbie Celis. Spin move. He's fouled. And we go back to free throws for Robbie.
One of his favorite moves, that spin off of that crossover in the lane to si Robbie Celis. But again, only a 57.3% free throw shooter this season. I know he's so much better than that, pero you know, there are really some players talaga na nahihirapan sumut sa free throw, even if they're good outside shooters, just like Robbie Celis.
Well, he's still perfect from the line so far in this game, and as I say that, he misses his first free throw.
Every time we talk about free throw percentage, every time we point out the free throw shooting of a player within the game, that's always almost the time that they missed the first time.
Oh, no. It's almost 100%. Very weird. 57-43. Kojak Melegrito onto JM Gonzalez. They go to BJ. Nina on the drive. Tough pass. Castellano in trouble. A steal. One guy ahead. This could be a slam for RJ Ramirez. And there it is. Not the best slam, but this will take those 2 points.
Baby slam para kay RJ Ramirez. One of the participants of last year's dunk contest during our All-Star weekend.
When he was playing for Bacoor. So he's back on his old court.
Kind of a homecoming.
And the next opponent of Makati will be the Strikers here in this venue, so stay tuned for that.
That's going to be a great matchup. Here you see the 2 points, the outlet coming from Robbie Celis. RJ Ramirez trying to join in on the scoring party here para sa Makati.
Well, we know RJ as a scorer. He did a lot of scoring last year for the Bacoor City Strikers, but he compares his role this year with Makati to his role in the previous year with Bacoor, yung lineup na meron pang Gab Banal, where he was a role player, as Eman Calo converts from downtown.
And one of his roles is to be able to distribute the basketball and orchestrate para dito sa Makati, that time giving out the pass to an open Eman Calo. 16-5 is the scoring here in this quarter. Pahirap ng pahirap ang pag-execute dito ng Quezon City. Makati covering all options here. But on the other side, Quezon City failing to get in front of the shooters of the Kings, just like Eman Calo.
Calo's catching up to the scoring total of Robbie Celis. Just 6 points away. Missed by Marcos Sario. Ito ngayon to JM Gonzalez. They go to Zeus Pedrosa, who again played rejuvenated basketball in the first half for QC.
Lucky to get the foul right there. I thought that spin was too early in that move by Pedrosa. And he gets 2 free throws coming up.
Couple of subs here. Robbie Celis and Eman Calo will sit down. Pasok dito sina Keith Agovida and Jan Hamon.
I think with the lead that Makati has right now, this is a good opportunity for Coach Don Dulay to be able to incorporate Jan Hamon back into his rotation. So I would expect that from this point forward until the 5-minute mark of the fourth quarter, maglalaro ito si Jan Hamon para sa Makati.
Medyo matagal-tagal yun. 8 minutes yun. Martin Enriquez checks in for BJ Lina.
Dahil alam nyo naman na pag nakuha ni Jan Hamon ang kanyang rhythm, you know how deadly he could be. That man is not just a shooter, he is a scorer.
Hamon, this is one of the guys that had to buy into the system of Coach Don Dulay because they have a lot of scorers. Pinakita niya naman yung kanyang humility. Now becoming a 3-and-D player for Coach Don Dulay. He misses right on cue. But he gets the ball back, a turnover for QC.
Kasi he's always used to being that guy in his career. In college, playing for the EAC Generals, he was the star player of that squad. And then, when he moved on over to the MPBL playing for the Pasay Voyagers, he was the top gun, right, of Coach Marlon Martin.
Oh, he was Mr. Clutch for Pasay before. Another miss for Sario. 17-point game.
They're really trying to set up Sario. A lot of open looks for him the past few possessions, just unable to knock it down.
JM Gonzalez. No handoff. They go to Errol Soriano. That's short. Rebound Pedrosa. Very energized in this game.
Oh, you see here this lineup of Quezon City on the floor. There's really no scorer dito sa 5 na pinasok ni Coach Eric Salamat. That's why they're trying to do it by committee here, scoring the basketball.
But then again, they do not have the biggest names roster-wise. So this would be a golden opportunity for one of these players to shine for their team.
And I'm guessing really it's going to be Andre Flores para sa Quezon City, and maybe that guy, Sus Pedrosa, who also showed flashes of brilliance. He had quite a few good games with the past management ng Quezon City.
And those two players that you just named, they are mainstays of QC. 62-47. Alan Santos, John Hamon, Agovida against Pedrosa. Cross court they go. Marcos Sario, another try. Wala pa rin. What a pass by Agovida. And the strip by Castellano, leading to this open layup for Martin Enriquez.
Or for Makati, they're trying to make everybody eat right now. You see there the conscious effort. Agovida could have gotten that rebound and went for the putback himself, but decided to tap it to a different guy, Alan Santos.
John Hamon fakes it, fires. He misses. Hamon, by the way, is also returning to Bacoor. He had a brief stint last year with the Strikers as one of their mid-season additions. Pass inside. Castellano on the reverse.
John Hamon really has been dealing with quite a number of injuries since last year, no?
He even has his left hand wrapped up.
Mukhang hindi pa 100%.
It's actually a bit swollen. But he is good to go. And he's been waiting for this opportunity to play for Makati as Marcos Sario finally drains the jump shot.
Yeah, you know, John Hamon, makikita mo pag nanonood siya ng mga games sa Makati, yung mata niya, talagang gustong-gusto niya na talaga pumasok eh.
Well, that shot won't go in for Martin Enriquez to end the third quarter. So paganda ng paganda yung nilalaro ng Makati sa game na ito, Javi.
That's right. And here in this quarter, the Kings continue to stamp their class. Eman Calo trying to catch up on the scoring total. Ito ni Robbie Celis, 18 points already in this game, and arguably part of the big three itong Makati OK Bet Kings with Robbie Celis and Billy Ray Robles, who is not in action tonight for the Kings.
Score after 3 is 65-51. Parating na ang FIBA World Cup 2023 sa Signal Pay-Per-View. Mag-avail ng early bird offer sa halagang 550 pesos hanggang July 15 para mapanood ang lahat ng games commercial-free at in high definition. Pwede pang manalo ng authentic Gilas Pilipinas merchandise. Well, today, folks, we are coming to you live from the Strike Gym in Bacoor, Cavite. Neutral Zone 2 tayo para sa araw na ito, no? Mamaya, it's Marikina versus Sarangani. And then Parañaque will take on Caloocan in the main event. This is Mick Gomez alongside Javi Palanya and Sidney Crespo. There you see the Marikina Shoe Masters. Bit of a fun fact for you guys. There's one of 5 new additions that should be eye-catching for everybody para sa Shoe Masters. No? Gerald Anderson will be returning anytime soon here in the MPBL. Not today for Marikina.
Good to say that not today, no? Baka biglang dumagsa yung tao dito at magreklamo na wala pala si Gerald today para sa Marikina. But that's always a good addition. You know, Gerald Anderson has proven that he can mix it up with the best of them here in the MPBL.
And he is a returning player of the Shoe Masters as Marcos Sario makes that shot plus a foul. Quarter scoring natin.
Makati has won every quarter so far here after that close first period, 22-1. They have gone on to win the next 2 periods in convincing fashion. Right now, Sario starting to catch fire for the Kings. Hit the basket earlier before the end of the third quarter. You know, this guy was a scorer back in high school. Such a pain in the head when he was playing for the La Salle Zabel in the UAP Juniors Division. Just wasn't able to get advantage to play on any main team during his college days.
And you know, in terms of his MPBL career, you have to be happy for him because last year, he played very hard even though he didn't get as many minutes. But because of his hard work, his dedication as a role player for Makati, he was able to earn a spot in this talented roster of Coach Don Dulay, to which he says ang dami niyang natututunan with, of course, Coach Don Dulay, Coach Mike Cortez at the start of the season, now Joseph Terzo as a lead guard for Makati, and even Lucas Collar is a good example for him to be playing with.
That's right. Lalo na doon makes kay Coach Don, no? Being an undersized guard in a big pro league, how can you be able to flourish in the role that you're given, being a guard that is not that tall?
Ayan, no? Tignan mo yung height nila.
Oo, halos magkapareho lang. But you have ability to score the basketball, shoot from the outside, defend as well. Don Dulay was a very able defender during his playing days.
And that's why defense is a premium as well for Makati, as reported by Sidney Crespo. So, as much as Eric Salamat is a defensive guy for QC, ganun din sa kabila for Coach Don.
Ang laking bagay rin kasi na naglaro si Coach Don for Coach Yeng Giao when he was with Rain or Shine. So talagang na-highlight yung mga abilities ni Coach Don Dulay at that time. And you know how Coach Yeng is able to bring out the best in underrated players.
As Keith Agavida scores, now I can't wait to ask Coach Don Dulay if he picked a thing or two off of Coach Yeng Yao's coaching style, no?
I'm sure he did.
And what are those things? Kasi intensity, yan ang unang-unang maiisip kay Coach Yeng.
It's being able to expect the best from your players, possession in, possession out. That's why makikita mo siya madalas pag flat ang start ng kanyang mga players, talagang maikli ang pasensya ni Coach Don Dulay. But now he's trying to exhibit more patience on his players, but as his team is up by a large margin now, 70-51.
So we break down the next 3 games of the Makati OK Bet Kings. On July 13, they face Jeff Viernes and Sarangani. July 5, Laguna. Pabalik po tayo, no? Because the most important game is that June 29 game against the Bacoor City Strikers that will happen here in the Strike Gym. And we bring that up because marami nang nakalaban na contenders, malalakas na teams itong Makati in this season. They lost to Bataan, Caloocan, and Quezon. And they won versus Pasig, Zamboanga, Gensan, and San Juan. And so, do you think this gives us a bit of a measure as to how Makati can size up to their competition here in the league so far?
Yeah, definitely. And that next game against Bacoor is the most important also because pag natalo mo ang Bacoor City Strikers, you gain that confidence to be able to go up against Laguna and Sarangani, both of which are very much beatable if you're the Makati OK Bet Kings. And when you're able, if you're able to win those next 3 games, you could climb the team standings in the North Division as high maybe as number 3.
John Amon just made a 3-pointer. He was very happy to have drained that. And in terms of standing, they will openly tell you that they're not happy with their standing right now, itong Makati. They know that they could have done better.
Definitely. A lot of games where, you know, they came close to winning. Natalo lang sa mga ibang hits ng mga teams during sa end game.
It's now 73-55 off of the basket of Migs Castellano. There's the answer by Matthew Daves.
You know, that guy, I think he should be able to deliver once again para sa Makati. He started this season very strong. Ito si Matthew Daves.
But that was the time wherein their starters were still not here, no? That's why the likes of Mark Rosario and Matthew Daves, even Dave Arana, starred for Makati in the first couple of games.
All right, now they're trying to find their footing in this team.
Will be a baseline inbound here for Kojak Melegrito. By the way, meron tayong babatiin, no, para kay Kojak Melegrito, ang Batang Escopa. That's his ball club of youngsters. He's now a coach, itong si Kojak. And his advocacy is to train these players, get them able enough to be able to earn scholarships with their basketball abilities, as Melegrito gave that assist to JM Gonzalez.
You always love it when players who have achieved a lot in their careers are giving back to the game that gave them so much. There you see Kojak Melegrito working the two-man game with JM Gonzalez on the right wing, getting him the three-point play opportunity. And going back to Melegrito, he's just really wanting to pay back and give back to the game that gave him so much.
Well, to the kids that he is teaching, I hope they can learn from how he has played today. He has set a good example against a tough team, the Makati Kings.
Well, kung sinubaybayan mo naman yung career ni Kojak, he's always played 110% whenever he's on the court. Di yan nagtitira ever. You could always see him giving his all whenever he's on the hardwood.
Again, welcome back to Kojak Melegrito. We missed them here in the MPBL. Lucas Collar from the corner. Short. Rebound Enriquez. Numbers for QC Melegrito demolishing his defender.
What about that? Was that Keith Agovida?
I think it was, yes, Keith Agovida. And boy, that was a hit. But obviously, it wasn't unsportsmanlike from Melegrito, who now attends to Agovida. It was just a tough move. But you, of course, can't blame Agovida for reacting like this. Masakit-sakit talaga yun.
Well, di lang naman na payat ito si Kojak Melegrito. Wide-body player who really plays physical.
Bang!
Sa pool.
Oh. Was that an elbow?
It was an elbow to the chin. It's like a boxing hit.
Yeah. The good thing is, Agovida's okay. He's just shaking off a bit. Yung ulo niya, no? Parang, what do you call that? Shaking his head. Leaner here for Marcos Sario. Agovida gets the board, and he gets the foul.
Oh, he seems to be okay.
So he was able to shake it off properly.
Number 8, Nick Castellano. His first.
Oh, you for sure you felt it as well, Javi, how he wanted to get that rebound and that putback.
Yeah, you saw it in his eyes after the foul was called. Nakita mo talaga na mababasa mo yung mata niya eh.
Oo. But that's the thing. Ganun ang pagbawi dito sa MPBL. That's how, or in basketball in general, no? That's how you should do it. Not be dirty.
Yeah, that's how you want to teach the kids to get back at plays made against you. That's always the best answer. Getting a better play on the other side.
77-60, Kojak Melegrito against John Hamon, mid-range. Yes, what a game for Kojak. 21 points.
Wow. He's trying to get player of the game honors. Kaya lang his team is down by 15 right now. But still a lot of time left. But with the way things are going, it seems that the trend in this game will not change anymore. Kings doing everything to put Quezon City at bay. But give credit to this new squad of Quezon City. This league could have been so much bigger.
And what a start that was for them. They were leading in the first quarter until the very end. Marcos Sario. And miss. Here's JM Gonzalez.
I was expecting a lead of as much as 20-25 points para sa Makati.
So if you're QC, would you be happy with your performance in this game?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Castellano almost scored. And here comes Lucas Collar.
You could be happy, but of course, you could not be contented. Obviously, ang dami pang kailangan trabahuin. Lalong-lalo na yung pagdepensa. You know, you gave a lot of open looks, a lot of easy options para sa Makati. That's why they were able to build this lead. Imagine mo, you stayed in the game for the most part of the first half just by moving the ball around. But if you played good defense, you could have been ahead by so much more.
You have a timeout here. With 5.5 minutes remaining, 77-62. One of the newest guys of Quezon City in the season is the returning Kojak Melegrito. He has performed very well in this game. 21 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists.
And he's been doing it in a variety of ways para dito sa Quezon City. Scoring on the fast break, attacking inside, knocking down perimeter jumpers, working the two-man game with the bigs. What a return para dito kay Kojak Melegrito, former Letran Knight.
Again, we missed this guy here in the MPBL. He stayed in great shape. Paulit-ulit natin sabihin, the biking has helped him a lot. But ironically, he started biking not in the pandemic era. 2013 pa lang nagbabike na yan, as opposed to a lot of pandemic bikers out there.
You know, Kojak Melegrito, we're just happy to have him back because he embodies the style of play that we have here in the MPBL.
Oh, well, I think Sydney reported about that. The physicality, that's a big adjustment here in the league, no? Melegrito is definitely ready for physicality.
Because he's played that way his whole life. Imagine start ng career mo sa Letran. The players you had to go up against in practice every day. A program that the Knights have, especially during that time, in time ni Melegrito, that was quite a number of years para sa kanila.
Nung time ba na yun, yung mga tawag din ng referee, mas hinahayaang maging physical yung players?
Oo. Especially in the NCAA. It was very different from how they called fouls in the UAAP.
There's a foul here.
Offensive foul number 55.
A charge on Lordy Casajeros. Melegrito gets multiple defenders. We see him able to use his body to create space. Napuna si John Hamon on the 5-minute mark. Javi, you were right. At pumasok si Kako Morales, who was the all-star last year for Makati.
Oh, pity though because Hamon wasn't really able to score buckets in that stint on the floor. But happy to see Kako Morales na naglalaro na dito para sa Makati.
John Hamon will lead this game with 3 points, 1 out of 7 shooting. Kojak Melegrito continues to add to his scoring tally. 23 points now.
What is Kojak's career high here in the MPBL?
We gotta ask Sir Jory Mangonan for that. And the ball goes out of bounds in favor of Makati. Baseline inbound for Lucas Collar.
Shot clock at 14 seconds.
14 on the shot clock for the Kings. The buzzer keeps on sounding here. What seems to be happening? Oh, it's the shot clock. So 7 na lang sa shot clock ang matitira para sa Makati. Bounce pass, good play. An easy 2 for Lordy Casajeros.
One of the things that they really have to work on at Quezon City, communication on defense. That's one of the pillars of great defense among teams. And that time, na-highlight yung lack of communication nitong kupunan ni Coach Eric Salamat.
81-64. Lordy almost traveled. They go to Lucas Collar, who has been working on his three-pointer. That was another miss though, and there was a foul on the loose ball.
Pushing foul number 13, Kako Morales, penalty, that's his first.
Push on Kako Morales. And that means free throws for JM Gonzalez.
Substitution, Dave Barana for JC Bullar.
JM Gonzalez, one of the few bright spots here in this game para sa Quezon City. He's had an unenviable job of trying to match up with the multitude of bigs that Makati has in their roster. At hindi naman pare-pareho yung mga bigs ng Makati. There's some physical, some mga finesse bigs, iba sa labas naglalaro. So, it's been a long day for JM Gonzalez and company.
His numbers are 6 points, with 10 rebounds and 5 assists. Now up to 7 points. Good effort by JM. He should be considered now as one of the veterans in the MPBL. Marcos Sario, one of the young guns of the league, three-pointer.
Already in double figures with 11 points. Ito si Marcos Sario trying to make the most out of this opportunity. Might earn longer minutes in the next few games, especially against the Bacoor City Strikers. That might be an opportunity that Marcos Sario can get from Coach Don Dulay.
Now this is what happens if you stay true to the way you play and the system of your head coach. Marcos Sario misses. Forward pass for QC. Enriquez to Melegrito. Crossover. 1-2. Tough move. No good. Gonzalez. Good effort. Sorry miss. Melegrito goes down. It's out of bounds in favor of QC.
You still got to appreciate the effort being given by Kojak Melegrito. He's been able to go through the seams of the defense and attack the basket. Munti ka na nga pumasok yung layup na yun.
Oh. And by the way, it was good for you to have brought it up. This is the career game in the MPBL of Kojak Melegrito. 23 points so far. Welcome back to the league.
Ito mo nga ngayon yan na Kuya Pao, yung influensya mo na pag mga comebacking players talagang sumisikap na maganda dapat ang laro.
You know, we do have a handful of players, past their prime here in the league. But good for them to be playing well still as Arana scores again for Makati.
A familiar corner set right there for a lot of teams. Makati running it to perfection on that play.
There's a foul on the other end. It's on Onzo Lorenzana. That guy was key versus QC in that comeback.
Substitution. JM Berger for Martin Enriquez.
There's a new guy coming in for QC. It's JM Berger. Is he related to RV?
Parang magkamukha no?
Well, RV...
Kaya lang mas maliit to si JM.
RV will be in action later on.
So we can ask him. I think might be his brother. Parang magkamukha I see the resemblance.
There's Robbie Celis.
Kala mo napadaan lang
Is Robbie Celis your best player?
He definitely is. Also had his share of the scoring load in this game para sa Makati, but Robbie Celis was just the better guy.
And his baskets were timely. That caused a separation for this game. Kako Morales, by the way, has already scored for Makati to the delight of the bench. Now, sorry miss for Lordy Casajeros. The other end, Kojak Melegrito on his career game in the MPBL. He gets the ball back. Three-pointer. A possible 4-point play.
Wow, what a game para kay Kojak Melegrito. Really transcending boundaries here in his newest stint with his newest squad here in the MPBL sa kanyang pagbabalik. Career high game plus the opportunity for a four-point play.
So it's now, I think they're checking whether or not it's an unspo, but that should count obviously. He's up to 26 points. But if you're QC, what will be the first things that you will work on your practices?
Defense, definitely, because the offense will come with time. But immediately you should be able to work on communicating and rotating on the defensive end, because that's gonna win you ball games ang iyong depensa, and especially you don't have that much talent on your roster, yan talagang kailangan nyo trabahuin.
It's just the beginning, folks, for QC. They had great flashes in this game, and so we can only expect greater things to come for this team. Melegrito converts from the line, so he's now up to 27 points in this game and counting. There still are 89 seconds to go for him to continue improving his scoring performance. 90-69. Robbie Celis had a double-double in their previous outing, 16 and 10. Boy, what a matchup that was between Robbie Celis and Rafi Verano. Celis was on his way to a Best Player of the Game award, but they lost it. And so he will get that interview today with Sidney Crespo in Bacoor.
That was quite a showdown that they had. I really love to see that Verano against Robbie Celis. Here right now, better scoring output, but just less rebounds here in this game. And he really didn't have to do a lot on that end of the floor because his other teammates were able to take care of that. And they didn't really have a lot of misses. Actually, both teams didn't have a lot of misses here in this game.
We have another timeout, but you were talking about the misses. So what are the field goal shooting percentages?
46% para dito sa Quezon City and 42% for Makati. So both over 40%, that's a good sign. Kaya lang, ang dami kasing turnovers ng Quezon City eh.
It's 21 turnovers for QC and 8 for Makati. Good for you to have pointed that one out because Makati is number 1 in the league in taking care of that basketball, only turning the ball over 12 times per game. So mag-i-improve ba yan with today's statistic? We just saw RV Berjay and the Marikina Shoemasters. They will take on Jesse Saitanan, Benji Jimenez, JP Kawilan, and the rest of Sarangani in our next game. That should be a good matchup, by the way.
Definitely looking forward to that. But both teams with similar play styles. Ang lamang lang ng Sarangani is they shoot more, a lot more from the outside.
And by the way, those two teams, respectively, in their previous outings, tinalo ng Marikina ang Zamboanga, the South Division champions, at tinalo ng Sarangani ang Nueva Ecija, the North Division and the MPBL champions. That was their most recent wins.
Actually, you could even argue that so sobrang match nga ng dalawang team na yan. Marikina almost beat Nueva Ecija, by the way.
Yes, right,
diba?
right. Oo.
So this is really a matchup to look forward to. As both teams play excellent defense, they love to run, and both have very young guys on their roster. Yan talagang magandang aabangan dyan, yung bakbakan ng mga bata. Because we're so used to seeing a lot of veteran players go up against each other. Pero ngayon naman, karamihan puro bata eh. And you may have some veterans on your squad, but obviously Jeff Viernes, also a guy who loves to push the pace para sa Sarangani.
And in the main game, veterans versus young guns naman yan. Caloocan versus Parañaque. We are in neutral territory for your MPBL Thursday. Dave Arana. Makati's up by 20. Lordi Casajeros on the spin. Met by Kenji Roman, and he was blocked.
Oh, 2 timeouts just for that? Really?
Baseline inbound for Lordi. Now they go to Onzo Lorenzana. 7 on the shot clock against Sumalakay. Onzo to Morales. Kako. 1 second. Lorenzana to beat the buzzer. Bit too long. Looks like it was a 24-second shot clock violation. Makati is arguing that they beat the shot clock with that Lorenzana shot.
But once that paddle is up, talagang wala na sila magagawa dyan.
90-70, cross court. Sumalakay. He will fire. Too strong. Low could not get the ball. The other end we go. Forward pass and an easy layup for Lordi Casajeros. Good feed by Mark Rosario.
I used to do that a lot during his younger days, getting the outlet pass and finishing on the break. Itong si Lordi Casajeros. Imagine now he has transitioned into playing a lot of power forward here in the MPBL.
That's right. And so, that will do it, folks, for this matchup between Quezon City and Makati. Again, of course, you could be happy for the new look Quezon City squad. They started off very well in this matchup. Kojak Melegrito with his career high in the MPBL. His numbers are 27 points with 5 rebounds and 3 assists. But it was Robbie Celis who led the way on the other end. He did not beat his career high of 28 as he finishes with 24 on 67% shooting from the field.
He continues to be very efficient here this season. Talking about Robbie Celis, and also working on defense. 3 steals as well as 4 rebounds for the former Davao big man. His play will definitely be very key as Makati tries to make a deeper run here in our season.
Those 24 points were also scored in 22 minutes of play for Robbie Celis as he continues to improve his numbers here in the MPBL. Kasama na siya ngayon ni Sydney Crespo.
Thank you so much, Migs. Robbie, you are once again the leader of this Makati squad in terms of scoring. This time you have 24 big points, and Coach Don Dulay mentioned before this game that you are the next leader of the team and that you should embrace that role. Ito ba yung ginagawa mo ngayon?
Siyempre, yung trust sa akin ng coach nandun eh. So, every game, kailangan ko mag-deliver, kailangan kong magpakita ng good example, and thank God nakuha namin itong panalo ngayon.
Well, Robbie, coming from the first half, mas dikit yung laban, no? Pero dumami yung turnovers ng Quezon City to 21 na hindi nyo rin naman sinayang. Your team scored 23 points off of these turnovers. Anong naging strategy nyo dito?
Well, bad start kami. So, second half, nag-adjust kami, especially sa defense. And yun, thank God ulit at nakuha namin itong panalo.
Robbie, sino mo gusto mong batiin at pasalamatan?
Yes, unang-una, nagpapasalamat po ako sa lahat ng mga boss ng OK Bet, sa family ko, sa wife ko, sa dalawa kong anak, kay Rob, kay Daniel, sa lahat ng mga tropa ko dyan sa Diliman, sa Feria, at si Billy Robles, nagpapabati rin.
Alright, thank you so much for your time, Robbie. Once again, congratulations to you. Back to you guys.
How about that? May presence pa rin ni Billy Robles sa game na ito even though he was injured. Because of that greeting by Robbie Celis, a big-time win for the Makati OK Bet Kings as they prepare for the Bacoor City Strikers in the Strike Gym as their next assignment. Thank you for joining us, folks. In behalf of Sydney Crespo and Javi Palanya, my name is Migs Gomez. At ito po ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino.
Bawat bayay di patatalo, buong barangay ay suportado. Kahit ano ang mangyari, sama-sama